Good morning or good night, guys, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Alan here with Dream Big Live Tiny. Last night we had the opportunity to stay in this incredible 100% off-grid cabin up here in the mountains of Envigado, just a short drive outside of Medellin in Colombia. And this is definitely one of the most amazing cabins that I've ever stayed at. I cannot wait to show you guys. So let's get right into it. Hey guys, so welcome to Pines Retreat, this private retreat consisting of about 3 cabins up here in the mountains of Envigado. We're only about 30 minutes outside of Medellin, but as you can tell, we are literally in the jungle here. We're not that far from the city, but you are definitely out here in nature. You can probably already hear some of the birds chirping, and there's actually some really cool animals out here. I saw some signs on the way up when I was driving here. Well, I wasn't driving here, I took an Uber here, but I saw signs with pumas in the area, some really colorful birds that I'm not completely aware of what species they are. And then last but not least, there are sloths in this area. I haven't seen one yet, and hopefully before we leave in the next couple hours. But we're staying here at this incredible little off-grid cabin, 100% off-grid. It's running off of solar power and a rainwater catchment system. So these little cabins are for rent on Airbnb. It's definitely a great weekend getaway. I would highly recommend staying for at least 2 nights because it is a little bit outside of the city and it's not the easiest place to get to. I wouldn't recommend only coming for 1 night, like during the week or something like that. Definitely stay at least for 2 nights. So without further ado, let's go check this cabin out. So welcome to the inside of the Albar cabin. I'm not too sure what the size of this is. A lot of you guys asked me, so I'm gonna say that it's probably somewhere between 200 and 250 square feet, just kind of referencing my tiny house. Basically what we have here is an open floor plan with the sleeping area. We have kind of like a bit of a bohemian vibe going on with some basically pine tongue and groove all around. Gives it kind of like that rustic cabin feel, almost erring on the side of a sauna. The wood flooring stained with a different color. Megan was telling me that she thought it kind of gave her a bit of a yoga studio vibe. I personally don't do yoga, so I don't see it, but that's just because I'm not involved in that world. However, what I do know is that it feels really peaceful to me. Even inside, you can hear a lot of the birds chirping. There's still pretty decent insulation, so that's not what I'm saying, but it still feels very relaxing here. Feels like it was meant to be a retreat for a couple nights. Definitely not a long-term stay because it did get pretty cold last night, but the bed is extremely comfortable. I thought it was really comfortable. I had a great night's sleep. It was probably because I was also really tired. So we have this open floor plan. We have the bed right here. We have these 2 little sort of nightstands, one over there, it's a little bit smaller with the Wi-Fi router. So there is Wi-Fi here for those of you that are wondering. The Airbnb listing said that there wasn't Wi-Fi, so I was expecting to completely unplug. I didn't bring my computer or anything. Obviously I had my phone and my camera to, you know, show you guys this space. But it was a nice touch to have access so that we could like order food last night, so that we could communicate with the Airbnb hosts and let them know that we got here safely, to order a taxi last night. So you won't be totally remote, off the grid. You'll still have access to communicate to your loved ones if you want to let them know that you're out here in the middle of the jungle with pumas surrounding you. And then we have this cool little storage bin over here, which we basically just put our backpacks and other stuff that we kind of just wanted to put out of the way. Mostly I just threw them in there so that you guys wouldn't see them in the video and see the mess that we had here. But the coolest thing, and this is why I want to start with this over here, the coolest thing about this cabin is the fact that you can get this sort of indoor-outdoor living, opening these glass sliding doors, and you have an amazing 300, well not 360 degree view, 180 degree view into Envigado, into Medellin. Right now this huge cloud of fog just came in, but when I got here yesterday around like 3:30 or 4 o'clock, it was absolutely unreal. Like the view that you had last night, the view was really nice as well because it was quite clear last night. You could see all the city lights all the way down there. It's far enough where you don't hear any cars driving by, you don't hear any people. This is a really, really private location. I want to say it's probably set on close to like 60 or 70 acres, just based on like what I had to walk. And I have a story for you guys. So in order to get here, once you get to the private entrance, not a lot of taxi Uber drivers know how to get up to the cabin. However, the Airbnb host provides basically a reference or a guy that he works with that works privately for all these cabins. He knows how to get in and out of this. But basically, I took an Uber from Poblado, which is the area that we're staying in Medellin. Took an Uber out here, and once I got to the private entrance, the gate, the guy literally looked over into this like really steep hill, and he was like, no, like I'm leaving you here, you're walking. And so I got out of the car and I started walking here. I had no idea how far it was. I started seeing signs that there were pumas out here and that there were sloths. I was excited about the sloths, I was scared about the pumas. But I started walking, I started trekking. Ended up being probably a little over a mile. Obviously not that far, but I had no idea how far it was, so I thought, okay, maybe, oh my gosh, look at this bird right here. Oh no, you can't see it. This is really colorful bird. It's like yellow and blue and green.
Where is it?
Up here.
Oh, pretty.
But anyways, I made it here and all is good. I'm in one piece. But basically, this little outdoor area is my favorite part of the cabin. We have this hot tub, more like a bathtub that just happens to have hot water. It took forever to fill last night. So if you come and you want to, you know, take a hot bath or pretend like you're in a hot tub, definitely fill it up like well before you plan on actually getting in. It's enough space for one person, and 2 people it's a bit of a stretch. So we have this amazing hammock over here, which is really fun if it's not wet. So yesterday I jumped in it just after it had rained, didn't really think about it, and I got soaked. But it's really fun to just hang out here, relax, look up at the trees, look for a sloth that you probably won't see because I haven't seen one yet. I've been here for a day. But it's a really, really nice outdoor area. We have a barbecue pit on this side. We have these 2 chairs, a great place to relax and just enjoy being out here in the jungle, out in nature. When you're ready to get back in, come this way, I'll show you the rest of the house. So on this side we have this little storage bin. Unfortunately it is completely locked because that's where they keep probably supplies and stuff for the cabin. On this side we have a tiny kitchenette. We have a 2-burner propane cooktop. We have this tiny little sink. On this side we have a mini fridge, so you can store some of your food while you're here, and just a trash can, other essentials. Up here we have a little cabinet for your pots and pans, glasses, mugs, whatever you guys need. There's plenty of things here. It's not fully stocked like your apartment, your house, but there's definitely enough to get by for a weekend stay here. And if you guys can see up here, we actually have the 1,000-watt power inverter and the solar charged controller. So as I mentioned earlier, this house is off-grid, so it is powered 100% off of solar panels. There are 2 panels up there. I believe there are 2 200-watt panels. All the lights, all the outlets, the mini fridge is powered, the internet is powered by solar power. So when you come, just be mindful of, you know, how much energy you're using. For now, I know I have the lights on, that's just to show you guys the house, but there's tons of windows surrounding the cabin, so you have tons of natural light coming in from every direction at all times of the day, so you really don't need to have the lights on that much. Just really at night, like when you're, you know, in the restroom, brushing your teeth, whatnot. We have this cool little built-in table that you can actually fold down. I was telling Megan last night, like we were eating dinner and I thought it was a little too small for a foldable table. I feel like if you have the functionality to fold it down, then you might as well make it like a full size so that you have plenty of space to enjoy. And then when you're not eating, you don't need it anymore. You can fold that big sort of table down. But you know, if for this size, how small it is, they should have just made it fixed. That's one of my few suggestions would be to make this bigger, because we had small plates for dinner and it still felt super cramped. Other than that, it's plenty of space and it's fine. On this side, we have the bathroom. We have basically this cool little division. We have the toilet on this side, semi-private, still very loud. You can hear everything. So that's a flushing toilet, which is nice for some of you who hate composting toilets or you've never used one. We also have this cool little window that actually, well, if I can open it, this cool little window that actually acts more like a door here in the bathroom. So if you want to hear the sounds of nature while you're taking a shit, then this is definitely great design. I actually really like it. I mean, there's no one in sight. So no one is going to be walking by or peeking in from a neighbor house. And it's nice to hear the sounds of nature. Though at night, that's when we started getting some bugs in here. So if you're deathly afraid of bugs, this place is probably not for you. Luckily, we didn't have to deal with any snakes or spiders or anything. I think there was one spider, but I didn't tell Megan. Here we have the sink. It's a really cool sink. We have this like stone bowl up here, over mount, or I don't know how you call it. I'm blanking, shooting a blank right now. But it sits on top of this little vanity. There's really no space for anything else. I would say design 9 out of 10, functionality like 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. And this specifically in regards to this right here, which is actually the faucet. So we have this like shower style like handle right there, and then we have the faucet. However, because it's coming straight from the roof, what I think happens is, you know, the water's coming down with so much force that it actually splashes everywhere. So you basically have to lift it, you know, really slightly lift it. And I don't know, I think the design is great, functionality not so great. But the shower over here, so we have this really cool shower, so like these river rocks in the bottom with this kind of like rain shower style shower head, and it's pretty cool. That's pretty much it. So turn these lights off to conserve some energy. But that is it, guys. This is the Albar cabin here at the Pines Retreat. I hope you guys enjoyed that tour. I'll leave the information for the Airbnb listings in the description below if you guys want to come check it out. Or if not, then just enjoy us enjoying this space here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weeks, and I will see you in the next one. So welcome to the inside of this little cabin out here. It doesn't have a name. Albar. It does have a name. This little private retreat up in the mountains with 3 cabins.
Why don't you say like we're literally in the jungle right now and then talk about that?
You could probably hear the birds chirping and the pumas growling. Do they growl or do they? I don't know.
Yeah.